Deep beneath the dry African savanna inside a dark hidden den, tiny Koda enters the world weak, hairless, and completely blind beside his exhausted mother. Soft whimpers echo through the narrow den while newborn Koda struggles helplessly across the dusty ground searching for warmth. His tiny pink body trembles beneath the darkness as instinct guides him toward the comforting scent of his mother. At last little Koda finds her and begins nursing peacefully while the outside world remains dangerously silent. Curled safely beside his mother, the exhausted newborn slowly falls asleep deep within the shelter of the den. But death already moves through the shadows outside. A giant African rock python silently slithers into the den with scales scraping softly against the dirt floor. The massive serpent glides closer and closer toward sleeping Koda while its cold eyes lock onto the helpless newborn. Tension fills the darkness as the python inches within striking distance of the tiny pup. Then suddenly Koda's mother awakens, with fierce protective instinct exploding inside her. She lunges violently toward the giant snake before it can strike. Her sharp teeth clamp fiercely onto the python's neck while the enraged serpent thrashes wildly through the narrow den. Dust and chaos erupt around sleeping Koda as his mother drags the heavy predator away from her child. The python fights desperately, but the fearless mother refuses to release her deadly grip. At last she drags the giant reptile completely out of the den and saves Koda from certain death. Weeks slowly pass beneath the blazing African sun while soft yellow-gray fur begins covering Koda's growing body. One magical morning the young Jackal finally opens his eyes and stares curiously at the world for the very first time. Koda struggles onto shaky legs, stumbling clumsily across the den floor before proudly standing on all fours. Driven by curiosity, the young pup slowly waddles toward the glowing den entrance. Bright sunlight floods across Koda's face as he steps outside into the endless savanna for the very first time. Warm wind moves through the tall dry grass while the young jackal sniffs fallen leaves and explores the wilderness around him. Playful and innocent, Koda wanders joyfully across the open plains completely unaware of the danger above. Far in the sky, a gigantic martial eagle circles silently while tracking every movement of the tiny pup below. The giant predator locks sharp deadly eyes directly onto vulnerable Koda and suddenly dives downward at terrifying speed. Wind tears violently through the air while razor-sharp talons extend toward the frightened little jackal. Frozen with fear, Koda looks upward just as death descends from the sky. Then his mother explodes into action. With breathtaking speed she launches herself directly above Koda and intercepts the eagle mid-stride. Her jaws snap upward violently forcing the predator to lose balance only inches above the helpless pup. The defeated eagle flaps furiously back toward the sky while terrified Koda crouches trembling upon the ground. Instantly his mother rushes toward him, licking and comforting the frightened youngster after the near-death encounter. Time passes across the endless African wilderness and Koda grows into an energetic juvenile jackal. Now faster and more curious, Koda races playfully across the open savanna while learning the harsh rules of survival. He carefully follows his parents through tall grass and studies every movement during hunts. Koda watches closely as his mother silently stalks prey through the dry vegetation beneath the blazing sun. Soon he begins learning the brutal art of scavenging that keeps jackals alive within the unforgiving wilderness. One afternoon, juvenile Koda discovers an abandoned carcass hidden deep within the grasslands. Excited and hungry, he tears small pieces of meat from the bones while warm wind carries the scent across the plains. But nearby another predator catches the smell instantly. A gigantic spotted hyena emerges slowly from the bushes with malicious glowing eyes fixed directly onto Koda. The massive scavenger stalks closer and closer while the young jackal remains distracted by the carcass. Then suddenly Koda turns around and freezes in terror face to face with the enormous predator. The hyena opens its jaws preparing to pounce. Instinctively Koda leaps backward defensively while his heart pounds wildly beneath the burning African sun. At that exact moment his father bursts explosively from the tall grass and places himself directly between Koda and the predator. Seconds later Koda's mother arrives beside them, forming a fearless defensive wall around their child. The furious hyena growls loudly, attempting to intimidate the smaller jackals and reach Koda. Then battle erupts across the dusty savanna. Koda's father charges viciously and bites hard into the hyena's hind leg, forcing the giant scavenger to stumble sideways. While the distracted predator snaps at the father, Koda's mother seizes the opening and bites deeply into the hyena's flank. The wounded scavenger yelps painfully while clouds of dust explode around the violent confrontation. A thrilling high-speed chase erupts across the savanna as Koda watches his fearless parents drive the enemy away. Realizing the battle is hopeless, the defeated hyena finally retreats into the distant grasslands. Victorious and exhausted, Koda's parents return proudly to their son beneath the glowing African sunset. Young Koda nuzzles gratefully against them while admiration shines within his growing eyes. Seasons continue passing and the once helpless pup transforms into a fully grown powerful male jackal. Adult Koda patrols confidently across his vast territory while golden gray fur ripples beneath the savanna wind. His sharp, experienced eyes scan every movement hidden within the tall grasslands surrounding him. One evening Koda successfully hunts fresh prey and prepares to enjoy his hard-earned meal. But suddenly the grass parts nearby. A massive leopard steps forward from the shadows, attempting to steal the prey directly from Koda. The giant cat snarls aggressively while muscles ripple beneath spotted fur, preparing for violence. But adult Koda refuses to surrender. With fearless determination he growls fiercely back at the leopard and stands his ground beneath the fading sunlight. The enraged predator lunges violently and swings a massive paw directly toward Koda's head. In breathtaking slow motion Koda dodges the deadly strike with incredible speed. The leopard attacks again, trying desperately to pin the jackal beneath overwhelming force. But agile Koda rolls beneath the attack and counter-strikes by snapping sharply at the leopard's tail. The furious big cat roars thunderously while Koda circles, relentlessly defending both territory and prey. charges forward and bites hard into the leopard's ankle, forcing the predator backward in shock. Wind howls across the savannah while Koda bares his teeth, fearlessly proving himself master of the land. Finally, the leopard hesitates, realizing the battle carries too much risk even for a giant predator. Defeated and frustrated, the leopard slowly retreats into the endless African grasslands. Victorious adult Koda stands proudly over his hard-defended meal beneath the golden light of sunset. Warm savanna wind moves gracefully through his fur while the endless wilderness stretches behind him. No longer the tiny blind newborn hiding helplessly inside a dark den. Koda now stands as a fearless king of survival forged through courage, instinct, endurance, and relentless battle against the wild.